big plots,
Whatever the outcome is,
big
surface
new
of a
area,
world on another side.
and big thighs. All right, I know you guys are super excited. I'm super excited. This is just gonna be a little bit of a crash course, just my thoughts everywhere. I'm just gonna show you some things. No story plot spoilers here. You guys are really gonna enjoy that story. So I don't really want to do that other than what they've already spoiled on Twitter, that is. But you can't hide from me, Lyra. So hit the chapters down below. You guys know the drill. If you guys can, hit that like and subscribe. Let's go show off some things. All right, since I filmed this on 2 different days, you're gonna see 2 different versions of future Kyrios. Jesus! All right, let's start off with the thing you guys care about. Now, this will not be a full deep dive. I have that video coming. Unfortunately, I cannot show you any of the other gameplay I have. NDA. And for those reasons, we're on the CN account right now for reasons, right? You guys understand. But I will have a Matrix video, a complete deep dive. I will have maybe a team building video as well, so we can test the different elements with Linye. But you guys are here for Linye, and this is what's going to happen. And here's my theory. We already know that you're going to get Linye. It's already been announced on Twitter. You're probably, the other banner that came out is you're probably going to get Lyra. Lyra is the giant weapon wielding or fist wielding girl of victory. If we don't get her after Linye, I'll be shocked. I'll be literally shocked. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how fast they want to move and stuff like that. But just quickly talking about Linye, let's just talk. I mean, you guys are here for the thighs. Like, you know, like look at this. I'm already spoiling it. What am I doing? What am I doing? So you like her base skin. I mean, her base skin is really nice, right? It's really nice. I personally like her 3-star skin. Let me give you my biggest tip with Linye. She's just good all around. 0-star, 6-star. You don't even have to see my other video. You probably should. But she's going to be good. She's a great weapon to pull because there's nothing out there in the game that resists aberration. So she can fill in those voids. I mean, I wouldn't say she would do amazing, but like say you go into something that's fire resist and you only have a fire team, well, she pretty much be your primary DPS to an extent, depending on what you want to do. Now, I love her 3-star skin. Oof. Good, it's good. And then she does get her own swimsuit version of the skin. And what I really like about that skin is that you get your own style of the weapon, where the weapon actually can change up too. So like you can change that weapon up here. Right there's her 1-star weapon, 2-star weapon. Apparently I don't have her 2-star weapon, right? I only have her 3-star weapon, and it changes up the appearance of it, so it can actually change up what it looks like. Probably only for the big spenders on that one. And then you guys are going to have Lyra on top of that, and Lyra is absolutely amazing as well. And all the physical team members out there start jumping for joy. Physical team not broken. Everyone with the Claudia and Shiro is like, you got Kyrios. But she will complete the team. Depending on what you really want to do, depending if you want to be healing or whatever, right? You may want to still hold off for Umi. Umi is another character that is new to the game, but that'll be a pretty long wait. She's got a really nice altered skin, I would say. Not a big fan of her 3-star skin, but if you're looking for pure physical burn, her Claudia Linye would go very well. But you know, that's theory crafting. We'll talk about that another way. What I would say is that Linye is just good. It's just good. You can pair her with every element. You want to pair her with 2 different elements. She's just good across the board. She's an off DPS or an off-field DPS where you essentially hit her skill and you just pop off to another DPS and start doing that thing you do, right? So look forward to it. I look forward to it, and look forward to those deep dive reviews. Let's go head on over to the Abyss. Before we head on over to the Abyss, I just want to let you guys know I've already covered the Battle Royale, and the Battle Royale should be coming out this patch as well. So if you guys want to check that out, the link to that video is down below. It was one of the first videos I've ever did, so I'm sure it's pretty terrible, but it'll give you the gist of how it is and show off some gameplay. And generally, I don't really need to recap it other than it's kind of fun. But let's talk about the Disorderly Lost City, or the Confounding Confounding, Confronting Abyss, whatever they're calling it in global, but essentially the brand new area. If you open up your map, you'll find this brand new area at 2.1 that is just insanely big. You can see I haven't even discovered this one part, mainly because in order to get there, it requires you to kill one of these world bosses, which is one of the hardest world bosses so far to date in the game to kill. We'll see how strong it is actually in global. I may have a trick to get by that, but we'll leave that for another video. Bros, let's go! Now, the one thing I do want to talk about before we just talk about some of the mechanics and some of the beauty of the Disorderly Lost City is that there's going to be some new gear that everyone gets. Now, if you have seen my CN account, you do know that there's a lot of different pieces of gear that we do not have in global. And once again, I have to show you on my CN account for reasons. But the new piece of gear, so we got the engine, right? And this is the piece of gear that you guys got. It's not element specific in global, and I think that's what's going to happen to all these pieces of gear where they're no longer elemental specific. You can see I have all these reactors that are different elements and engines and goggles. Now, when CN came out, the two pieces of gear that originally came out were the engines and the goggles. I don't know which one they're going to give us. I highly doubt they're going to give us the reactor. I highly doubt they're going to give us the crowbar. I always forget what this one's called, but I highly doubt they're going to give us both of these because it seems like they're delaying a piece of gear per patch to push our content or stretch it out a little bit further. So my anticipation is that they're probably going to give us, I mean, they might give us the reactor, but I have a feeling they're probably going to give us a non-elemental version of the goggles. Now we have to see how you actually acquire those, but they probably are going to have to come from something like the new world bosses or anything like that, as you can see here, where you can actually get pieces to make the reactor, and it has a chance to drop it anyways. Which, by the way, say hello to the new world bosses, Hera and I believe Colton. I don't know what the actual English translation is here, but essentially one's a giant scissor hands lady thingy that's absolutely terrifying, and then one's a mystical mining beast. That's the best I've got. But the areas, the Disorderly Lost City is absolutely beautiful, and it's going to introduce a lot more new mechanics. You're going to see mechanics like the invisible bridge, where you have to hit this thing, which will spawn a bridge, and then you'll have a timed event to kind of get through that bridge before it despawns on you. Typically, this one right here probably requires a sniper rifle just to hit it again before you fall. There we go, hit it again. Or any other kind of ranged mechanic. Now, for this one right here, this is pretty interesting. Let's take a look at that. So we have another mechanic that allows us to take over essentially this eyeball. And this eyeball is going to show you where there's a hidden piece of gear, or not gear, but a hidden piece of item. So essentially what you're going to do is you're going to track that. That one is really easy to uncover, right? It's looking directly at it. You can see it. So we're going to go ahead and jump on down. There it is. It's able to uncover itself. So you're going to see a lot of those mechanics. You're also going to see a lot of new enemies, and a lot of these enemies are actually really tough to take down. A lot of them are elites that just in the CN, everything is a little bit harder. Now, there's a few other little mini mechanics. I'm going to show you guys two more, but one of the ones I want to talk about are these orbs. Now, in the CN, this is actually very hard to do, but essentially it's a timed event. As soon as you hit this orb, it's going to spawn 2 different waves, and you essentially have like 20 to 30 seconds to try and kill those waves. So if you don't have the DPS to actually pull this off, you're never going to get it down. You might have to bring some friends in initially. I have a feeling it's not going to be as strong as it is obviously in the CN. You can see there's another wave, but this time we got elites. So now we really got to pick up the pace here to see if we can get it. Oh boy, it's going to be close, I think. No, We did not. Oh, we did actually get it. I think we were just at time. That's very rare for me to actually get those. Now, there's some other little mini mechanics and hidden bridges and hidden locations in this whole place. You're going to spend a long time here. I did. Absolutely amazing. But the last one I do want to show you is the boxes of Gondor. I don't know why I call it that. Lord of the Rings reference. But essentially requires you to light a beacon or get the power of light in your hand, which you have to find one of these pillars. You can grab it. You can see how now my hand is, glowy, I guess, right? There's usually a time limit on how long that stays. And then what you guys are going to do is that you're just going to come on over and then you're just going to ground pound it. But that's what I do. I'm sure you can just hit it, but I like to ground pound it. It'll open up the chest, but just a little mini mechanic that sometimes those little beacons are not as easy to find as that one right there. Like that one's pretty easy, right? But sometimes they're inside those structures. You can see these structures. Some of them are hollow, and some of them are not. So I think that shows a little bit of the new area. Let's show off some of the other cool things coming in 2.1. I didn't see you sneak back in here. Welcome back. Sorry, I was just enjoying a little nice swim at the pool. Okay, let's have the real talk now. Now, the one question a lot of my community has been asking, and a lot of people have been asking is, hey, Kyrios, you've been telling us to save that Mira. You've been telling us to save that Gachapon currency for essentially when the new boxes come out, so we can figure out where those crows are, if they changed it. Maybe there's different matrices in it. Now, one thing I would like to say, I cannot confirm or deny, but as of right now, it doesn't look like we are going to get Gachapon in 2.1. Once again, I cannot confirm that, but I have a feeling that we're not going to get it. And if we don't get it, that kind of aligns with the way that they've delayed our progression in this game a little bit, and the amount of content they release. It makes it better for the free to play. I totally get it. But the fact that they're not releasing that makes me think that maybe if it doesn't come out now, it might come out. So hit me up in the comments if 2.1 happens and it drops. I'm sure I'll do another video, right? But as of right now, I think it's going to come out in 2.2. Or that's just my feeling, because I think they want you to clear out most of these, or at least 2 of these by the time we get there. What does that mean at the end of the day? I'm tired of telling you to save, right? Tower of Savings, totally get it. What am I? I'm just going to tell you what I'm going to do, whether it happens or not. If it does drop and we get those second set of Gachapons, I'm probably going to take the leap and spend all 12,000 Mira that I have and try and figure out where those crow matrices are. Now, remember, in the CN, the crow matrices are here, but there's now human matrices there. Now, if it's not there, you should probably still save, but I totally get if you're not going to save, because at this point, a lot of free-to-play or a lot of low spenders are probably needing these Samir matrices, and I totally get it. So, but that rolls us into the new segment, and we got 2 more segments to really touch on. One is the Dark Zone, and we'll touch on that last. But my next favorite thing that they added in 2.1, which I think should have been in the game since the dawn of time, is they added essentially, I call it the scavenging hunt system. So in the Disorderly Lost City, which is what I still call it, aka the Abyss, there's many different mobs, and there's many different floral or items on the ground that you can get, and essentially they require you to go get these crystals, go farm this resource from different mobs, right? Go take down elite enemies to get different resources. Some of them are from world bosses like this one, so you're only going to get them so quickly. And I'm going to go ahead and just move my camera real quick so you guys can see. But they have different stages, right? You can see stage 1, stage 2. I've already completed some of these, and they have different rewards from dust and reactors and stuff like that. But it's a great way to enhance the content. It allows you to go back, farm with some friends, get it over time, and then this does expand over time. Now, it'll be interesting to see what Global actually does with this, and how they maybe change it, or the rewards that you get and we'll cover that more in detail when we can actually cover the 2.1 in global. But just be aware that you should be jumping on this almost immediately. The faster you clear this, the better you're going to be, and it's going to set you up for, because we're probably only going to start with half of it, and as it expands, right, if you start to fall behind, right, it's better to get with some teammates and start to farm this stuff now, where you can get like a ton of, look at all that dust you get right there. Look at the you get some shards right here too. You get some of the new crowbar right there. I doubt we'll get the crowbar, right, but you get some of the new reactor. Maybe it's the new goggle. All right, as the final bit of content, and my camera is just still in the middle of the place. As the final bit of content, we now have the dark zone. Not to be confused with the gray zone, but they're both dark, so I don't know. I don't know what to call it. But if you open up your map here, and don't look at that. New area, right? Big spoiler. But we'll have the gray zone that you guys are typically doing, or you've been progressing through, and hopefully that you've made some really good progress in that. Now you have the dark zone. You can see I actually haven't done it. I'll be honest, I have not done it in the CN. The dark zone literally kicks my teeth in. I don't know. I don't know a better way to put it, but there's some interesting rewards. I don't know what the global rewards are going to be, but there's some red nucleus you can get from there. There's some red nucleus I believe you can get in there. There's some shards you can get, and then a Mia costume when you complete all 3 different areas. Now that's a very hard ask on that one. And now we're essentially in the dark zone, which makes it, you have this, it's a weird sensation, right? You have this light that just constantly goes down, and that's essentially what this area is. It's all about like getting light again. So you'll see these crystals over here that like kind of shine the way. They all have different mechanics, and some of them you charge, some of them you don't. Some enemies can only take damage when they're near certain light. Some of them heal you. There's a lot of different mechanics to the dark zone that I need to cover fully in another video. Oh, I didn't pause it. All right, and as the final little bit, you'll see that this timer on the left isn't really going down. Is because for some reason it's 8 hours now instead of 8 minutes. Now, once again, we'll have more details. All right, that was a very long video. If you guys are still here, I do appreciate it. Once again, like and subscribe. I'll see you at the individual videos, and I'll see you out there. Come join us on the live streams, and fist bump from me to you.